Okay, we are running. Yes, we are running. Guten Morgen, meine lieben Freunde. Operator Starsky hier. Heute haben wir auch Sophia hier. Sophia kommt aus Rostov, lebt aber in Kyiv. And I can see Sophia's eyes like growing in size because I told her that we will be having a stream in English, but of course we will have stream in English. I was just joking. So, my dear friends, very welcome to our usual morning chat, news and coffee review. I can already see familiar faces there in the chat. Beep and Katie and Ali. Ali never sleeps, of course. And Michael and Completely Stable Genius. Hello, hello. Gardner and everybody else. Very, very welcome. We will have some updates, some reviews. But first of all, let me introduce my friends. You've already seen Sophia in some of my previous episodes when we were talking about those Nazi in Ukraine, all the repressions of the Russian-speaking population and things like that. So we have in our stream, we have a living Russian national, right? Living Russian national who, when did you go to Kyiv? 2018, 2015?
2018, yeah, 2019, yeah. I
Yeah.
moved to Kyiv in 2019.
Yeah, so Sophia lives in Kyiv since 2018, basically as political refugee, right? And she knows everything, right? Everything about repressions, being beaten up for speaking Russian on the street and on the kitchen, and things like that. So, welcome to my stream, Sophia. Can you please tell us a couple words about yourself?
Yeah, hi, thanks for having me over. I'm Sophia, I'm from Russia, and I'm from Rostov-on-Don, from south of Russia. So when this whole thing started, I thought that I'm not gonna be able to keep up with that. And so I planned to move to Ukraine, which I did, which I currently live.
Yay! Welcome. So good. Let's talk about the repression. Tell us, how many times were you repressed and spat on and cursed for speaking Russian language in Kyiv, like literally on the streets, in the stores, or anything like that?
Yeah, that's horrible. You know, that must be horrible. Yeah, we all have here like the personal officer, okay, from language patrol that follows you around and leads you everywhere, and yeah yeah, and they have that too, yeah, and they follow you and listen to what you say, and so every Russian word comes with a whack. Yeah, so yeah, that's how we will
Yeah.
here.
Yeah, like would you like to have coffee? Да, пожалуйста. The dude from behind you, like, don't say da, say tak. You know, like Russian motherfucker, and like just
We don't
stop.
serve coffee. We only serve kava.
Yeah. By the way, Beep. I know that the volume is a bit unbalanced. I don't know what to do. I will try to lower myself just a bit, like this, for example. Sophia, can you say a couple words so we can check?
1 2 3 1 2 3.
1 2 3 1 2 3. Yeah, well, basically we're speaking like around on the same level. All right, we will be talking a bit more quiet today, but you can just ramp up the volume, my dear friends, and you will hear us fine. Steven Booth says, didn't Zelensky originally speak Russian, then learned Ukrainian when Russia invaded? Yeah, that was basically the case. He could speak Ukrainian when he became president, of course. You are louder than me now. President Zelensky could speak Ukrainian when he became a president. It's just, in his offline life outside cameras, he spoke Russian on the kitchen, on the street, in the store. So I don't remember anyone literally, throwing grenades at President Zelensky for speaking Russian. And it's the very fact that he was elected by a majority of people in Ukraine who literally didn't give a slightest fuck about President Zelensky speaking Russian. That is, I think that says something. What else can we say? So, by the way, this is the morning coffee stream. I hope that you also have your coffee. All right, we are armed here, my friends. I hope that you have coffee as well. Let's jump into our news. All right. So, first of all, we have updates coming from the Russian propagandist fighter bomber who published a tribute to a lost helicopter. Turns out that yesterday the generals lost a helicopter Ka-52, and we will talk a bit about this cringe because the news is cringy by itself. So turns out that yesterday during the attack conducted by good Ukrainian drones on the terrorist federation, they tried to intercept some of the drones, and it seems like the Russian air defense shot down their very, very own helicopter, which is, of course, cringy as fuck. But again, you can understand the reason why Russians always shut down their civilian airports over Domodedovo and Zadnitsev and all that, because they are afraid to literally shot down their very, very own airplanes with people on board, right? We will talk just a bit about this case later. First of all, I would like to present this amazing video from special forces, Ukrainian special forces, that yesterday fucked up a fuel storage in the Starobelsk, Luhansk region, temporarily occupied Luhansk. Let's check it out. Again, amazing drones. I think it's a fixed-wing drone. Oh. And I think that they were using the same when they were hitting those Russian radio location systems in Crimea that I showed several days ago. Literally this morning we decided with Sophia that we will be roasting the living shit out of Russians in this stream, because seriously my sarcasmometer is literally drained today. Sophia, please help me. I don't know. I need fresh ideas.
Okay, so here's the one. Okay, what I think as a former Russian citizen, that let's say the scale and the magnitude of a newly presented Russian weapon, newly invented Russian weapon.
Burevestnik.
Burevestnik and Oreshnik as well. It's highly overrated, okay, and highly overestimated by Russians themselves. So what I think when I heard first about that, the previous version which they released, this Oreshnik, okay, so they claimed they had like 6 of them, right? So six to six, it comes to 36 missiles, roughly approx. Like, correct me if I'm wrong, yeah. But like, turned out they only had one, and only one working actually, yeah. So let's check what happens next.
Absolutely. I remember that yesterday I saw an update coming from either Netherlands or Norway. I won't lie, I don't remember because I have dementia, but I remember they were saying that they confirmed that Russia actually tested the Burevestnik. Ellie says bullshitnik. Yeah, that's the case. And basically, Burevestnik as well as Oresh. Oh my god, what sort of imbecile would call the missile fucking Oreshnik? Tell me, like, as a Russian-speaking person, what the fuck is this shit?
I have no clear answer on that, except for those that comes with a psychiatric unit. I'm sorry, that's out of normal logic. I have no idea. Buratina as well. Like, this is the name of the children's book character. Yeah, who would name the deadly weapon after the children's character? Why?
Buratina, to those who doesn't know, like Russian thermobaric MLRS, all right? The MLRS that shoots thermobaric charges. those like very, very nasty weapon, but it's nasty at a range of around 6-10 kilometers, so not that much. But it's nasty, it literally burns everything, like this shit is crazy. They call it Buratina, TOS-2 Buratina. Buratina is basically Pinocchio, all right? It's like, I think it's like Russian copy-paste of Pinocchio.
Yeah, it is. It's a children's character, as is, and that's very weird for someone grown up to name the deadly weapon after children's character.
Fuck, it's like name a grenade launcher, I don't know, Barbie. Whatever, like take
Barbie.
take my Barbie, take my Barbie, let's go party. What the fuck? Like I don't know. I smell. I hear some kind of savok, you know, when they name their weapons like Buratina, Oreshnik. I smell some sort of savok. I cannot explain why. Maybe you have idea. Like I don't know. Like
I have a version.
Okay.
Okay. If you take there is something. Okay. If we look at the distribution, okay, of the substances which are highly desirable in Russia and outside Russia, okay, so basically the theory says that Russians prefer cocaine, where the rest of the world prefers amphetamine. So basically, the Russians, the difference is the cocaine gives you the 15 minutes of the narcissism. Okay, you're great. You are on the top of the world. You can do everything, anything. Okay, but amphetamine gives you the power to think, right, rather than to show off. So basically, cocaine gives you the ability to sell something. Yeah, and amphetamine goes you like if we like roughly speaking, yeah, goes you ability to think. So that's probably the difference. So they probably want to be flashy, you know.
I think you are completely right because, for example, one thing like take the famous painters and artists, right? That would like to use different substances, but generally, what they were using, they were using like absinthe, they were using different like opium and stuff like that, to expand their reality and shit. But if you drink like window washing liquids or like toilet cleaning shit, apparently this degrades, all right? Like this forces human brain to degrade and basically fall apart. So that's my points of view. I don't know.
Well, how does it? We had a famous notorious rather the guy right from my place, which he used to be famous for his love to stiklamoy, to the windshield washing fluid. So yeah, no surprise, he's no longer with us, luckily. But yeah, I think they still have.
What a pity! What a pity!
What a pity! Yeah.
We have a commentary from Patrick L, who says they should name their missile Prigozhin.
Prigozhin? Oh, which Prigozhin? They have two actually. They have two. They have two guys named with the same last name, basically. One of them is what we know, and the other one is a musical producer, basically. He is the same kind of as the first one, so no difference between them, but one is still alive. So
that's interesting. That's interesting. Basically, yeah, two sorts of the same shit. So let's switch to some other updates here. For example, in Russian media, we have an update about a mayor of Ples. Where is Ples, by the way?
Ples, no idea. Somewhere in depths of Russia, I guess.
Ivanovskaya Oblast.
Oh yeah.
So Russians arrested former mayor of the Russian city of Ples, actually, in Ivanovskaya Oblast, because they found that this individual had property, and we're talking houses, apartments, and stuff like that, worth 1 billion rubles. And the funniest thing about it is that the budget of his city is 195 million rubles, which includes 25 million rubles dotations from Moscow. How do you like that? Like, I don't believe that he was arrested for corruption, of course, because we know that like it doesn't. I think he didn't share or something like that, or probably like they checked. He's probably like, dude, you have more than mayor of Moscow. What the fuck? Like, попустись, how to translate it. I have
Easy,
no
man,
idea.
easy.
Yeah, but how cool is that? So less than 2 million rubles is the budget of the whole city. The dude has 1 billion ruble worth of property. Holy fuck. And
Yeah.
that's literally in the Russian Federation. That's literally the money of his own citizens who say like, the fuck is happening to our schools? Why do they fall apart? The hell is happening to like our hospitals and stuff. I don't know. Ural, Altai children don't have like heating in the schools and kindergartens. Like the dude has 1 billion rubles. Divide by 100, it gives you 10. Wait, it gives you
1
10.
billion, 1 billion.
10 million
Wow, I
bucks.
don't have. Yeah, divide by. Yeah, 10 million. Yeah, you're right.
10 million bucks. That's so cool. Oh my god. I don't really celebrate, the fact that Russia is finally fighting against corruption and stuff, but it's just a good example, to show the people what is happening there in reality. And the dude like that, he's not alone. Generally, they are assigned as mayors. They're given basically the carte blanche to steal as much as they can, but they should also follow rules. Maybe, like my assumption, all right, is that maybe he failed quotas in, I don't know, supplying recruits for the meat assaults in Ukraine. Maybe one of the versions.
That too, but I think it's all more complex in there at the moment. It all has always been, but now it's even more. Whereas, yes, you're absolutely right. They have quotas, they have rules to follow, but at the same time, I know, I I sound weird, but they are human beings, okay? And human beings, they tend to fear things, yeah. So a lot of people who are now have power and like in the government are very, very scared of the whole thing. So they some of them tend to to get out, and that's where the system steps in. They are not allowed to get out unless they're dead, and that's the reality they live in. Okay, and even if they like it, even if they don't like it, who doesn't like it? We know them very well. They are either dead or in jail. Yeah, no options. So basically, they are forced to keep up with that. Well, rather they like it or not.
Yeah, absolutely. The main motto of the Terrorist Federation as of today is everyone will die, basically. Okay, switching to other updates, we have some crazy collision of a Ukrainian drone with a Russian FPV drone in Donetsk. Do you remember that famous like art installation, like two bullets that collided? It's in the museum in Europe. A British or a French bullet with German bullet, like they literally collided in the air, and there's still like an exhibition, and this stuff is presented just to show how the density of the combat that took place in the World War I. And this stuff is absolutely insane, like from the same standpoint, because we can see literally Ukrainian drone flying and colliding with the Russian FPV drone. Guys, just so you could understand the areas where those drones are used massively. Yeah, Gallipoli, I think so. The areas where those drones are used massively, for example, in Pokrovsk, they're all overwhelmed, all right? They're all covered in fiber optic cables. It looks absolutely insane if you Google those pictures and take a look at the fields, at the trees. all those wires, that is absolutely insane. So not only we will have to spend probably decades, if not 100 years, cleaning the mines and other shells and bombs that remain on the Ukrainian soil from the Russian terrorists. I think that we will also have to spend a lot of time cleaning that stuff as well. I have some other picture here. So here we
Oh,
can
that's my topic. That's my topic.
Can you please explain what the hell is wrong, like with the brown one? Like why they're different color? What the hell?
They're probably from the different manufacturer. What are these actually? Do we
Those
know?
are basically Russian terrorists that became good.
Okay. Oh, that probably was a major terrorist. Sorry.
Well,
Yeah,
I don't know.
I thought it was missiles actually. You know, once I used to work in cargo airlines, so I used to do some loading on the missiles once or twice. We used to ship them to India. Okay, and that's why I thought it was not like former terrorists or like good terrorists. Yeah, I thought it was like some arms. I don't know. I mean, sorry, like correct me if I'm wrong. But what is happening here? Have they just been loaded or unloaded, or which stage are they at?
So basically, the Russian Il-76 brought a bunch of coffins, Russians gloriously returning home and stuff. And one of that coffin is like it has a different color. I'm not sure if if it contains some, I don't know, like kernel or something. Maybe that's the reason,
Uh-huh.
but hard to explain.
But we can speculate actually what it is. Okay, like this is going to Russia, not from Russia, right? Right. So this is going back to Russia.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So I think it being arms or something is highly unlikely. Maybe they are sending some valuables actually. That's what I think. When I work in airport, okay, we used to see a lot of stuff which is being shipped illegally, okay, under the coffins or under the human remains. Yeah, that happens a lot. Happened and still happening.
Yeah. Right. We have some other statistics here, but like I know the way it happens in the army, all right? Because in the army, for example, everything must be the same color, and if not the same color, then somebody is getting fucked, all right? Like for example, some officer serving in the internal affairs service in the army, and like he's running around like crazy. Okay, we have funeral, we gotta have like 4 coffins the same color, the same size, right? The same measures and dimensions and stuff. And if they bring you, for example, a different coffin, you will be fucked by your commander big time. So this picture shows us that basically some of the Russian officers had probably, I don't know, finally had some, in and out action in the army. Anyways, we have statistics coming from Ukrainian Ukroboronporn, all right? So Ukraine, this month, all right, Ukraine produced 40 Bogdana artillery systems of different versions and only lost 4, according to the report coming from the Ukroboronporn and Asinters. Bogdana, for those who don't know, let me see if I have it here. Bogdana artillery. Oh my god. So Ukrainian Bogdana artillery system is very much similar, I believe, to the Caesar. All right, so the chassis is kind of similar. All right, it looks like this. The chassis is kind of similar. That's Bogdana B. This stuff has GPS guidance. It has a lot of software that basically helps the artilleryman to guide this stuff. And also, I don't remember if it requires a different vehicle to load it. Probably not. Probably considering Ukrainian realities, I think that soldiers do that themselves. Here, for example, we can see in the back of it something that looks like boxes. So apparently that's where they store their ammunition. Here, for example, we can see it closely. All right. So that stuff is really good. Again, we can see that Ukraine keeps producing artillery units, and this is very inspiring, of course, considering the fact that Russians have to buy shells and artillery in North Korea. Sophia, how do you feel, all right, as former Russian person, how do you feel about Russia becoming like the closest ally with countries like North Korea, Cuba, Iran?
Yeah, that's something out of my nightmare, you know. Seriously, I would never think it would come to this because when I basically the last visit, my last visit, the where I felt like more or less normal, okay, in Russia was back in 2015.
Oh,
Okay. After that, I was there like 2 or 3 times. The last time I was there was in 2019, but you could feel this. Okay, you could feel the air was getting denser. Okay, more dense, more concentrate, and the atmosphere was definitely, you felt pressure. You could feel pressure. Yeah. And this scared me off, actually. It really did, because I used to think, okay, like I'm the person from early 2000s. I used to think that Moscow was the best city in the world because it was most free city in the world. We had cross-gender parties. We had different various artists coming from, like, all over the world to Russia and performing for us, and they felt honored, okay, to perform in Russia. Like, this whole thing was like, it was so fun. Like, you can imagine, guys. And then there were a bunch of those laws released. First, against nationalism, second, against LGBT, and third, against everyone else. So you cannot consider Russia a country. Like, even ISIS didn't act like this. ISIS acted like government. Okay, ISIS acted mm, like a country. Okay, the despicable, okay, the disgusting. I hate the idea of it, but the country, okay, there is a word for that, not the country, but the organization. Okay, there's something that, okay, that favors people, but these guys, they don't even pretend. They don't even bother to pretend. It's like, it's so obvious now. I'm shocked, actually. The more I see it from here, the more I get shocked, and the more I get grateful for I'm not there anymore.
thank God. So we have Brandon Mitchell there in the chat. Brandon, hello, my friends. You also have nice hair, by the way. And my dear friends, if you have 3 minutes, please check out Brandon's latest publication in his. Brandon, please remind me, bro. Is it in your community post or where? I think it's it's in your community post, because I barely opened my eyes when you texted me, and I was like, okay, I see a message, I need to read it, and then I was like, so. Please check out Brandon's latest publication in the community post. It's very, very important, my friends. All right, I will repost it separately after this stream. One thing that, again, I don't often watch, for example, Russian bloggers, even those who like kind of, like this Russian opposition. That don't even speak much, for example. But from what I see, a lot of people were asked in Russia, even like a couple of years ago, what do you think about Russia becoming the ally of such beautiful countries? Russia that would sell its gas to Germany, all right, and stuff like that. Yes, latest upload Q&A on Ukraine basic training with some footage. Friends, please check out this update, all right, at Brandon Mitchell's channel. It's very, very important. Please remember that. So Russia that was selling gas to Germany and basically half of the world, and it kind of, a lot of people would go there because they had good marketing and everything else. But I remember 2000s people considered Russia like, part of the G8, all right, and stuff.
Exactly.
And today, Russia's best friends are like North Korea. Hello. And people were asked, like Russians were asked, I think, by that funny dude who likes to ask them different questions on the street. I have no idea how he still, survived, right? But they were like, well, North Korea, so fucking what, my ass. I don't know how to explain it. But on the other hand, for example, if you take Dugin, yes, Dugin tells dudes like, fuck the world, we are the world, we are the Ruski world, we must rule, all right, we must dominate, all right, and expand. By the way, the dude literally calls to expand other countries because Russia, 1420 prepper, I think it's 1420 or something like that. Again, not the biggest fan actually.
Of Dugin?
No. 1420. That's the channel that does all those. Like he questions people on the streets, does different interviews.
Yeah, okay.
1420. Yeah, that dude. But Dugin, holy shit. The very fact that Elon Musk's
Want to know about Dugin?
the very fact that Elon Musk's dad went to Dugin's press conference this year tells me that something is very, very much fucked up in SpaceX.
Yeah, that more than we can probably see from here, basically. You want to know about Dugin? I will tell you about Dugin, basically. This guy used to be, how can I say? He used to be in the elite of Russian philosophy. Okay, that was long ago. That was back in 1990s, and he had a wife. And for those who don't know, his wife was the first, after he stopped being his wife, she became the first known lesbian in Russia. Evgenia Dobryanskaya.
Really?
Yes. So you can imagine how bad he was as a husband. So the lady, after leaving him, became the first known lesbian of Russia.
That is impressive. What sort of husband are you if like your wife goes like, dude, sayonara,
Yeah, no more of this, no more.
Yeah, and
Exactly.
oh my god, that is something very interesting, and that, by the way, explains a lot. Actually, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Holy
yeah.
fuck!
After that, he partied, if I can say so, yeah, with the people. First, it was the Aryan year, Russian National Единство, Unity, and there was organization like that. There was a pro-Russian, but not in empire sense, and not in the sense of empire, but in the sense of the nation. Okay. So, and they of course got smashed up by government. They were pro-government for some time, and then they got smashed by it, of course. And after that, he partied with the DPNE movement against illegal immigration, and that failed as well, thanks to him. And there were two people ruling organizing of this whole thing, this movement against illegal immigration. One of them was Jew, one of them was Russian. And can you guess who went to jail?
Tell me.
Which one of them went to jail, Jew or Russian?
I think it's obvious.
Oh, just say it. Say it out loud.
The Jew.
Of course, because the Russian guy was a famous guy named Rogozin, and he is now leading some part of Russian government, which is doomed to fail as well.
Fuck, Rogozin, who was literally making those anti-Semitic speeches together with Aaron Ye, with nuts balls, and throw away the Jews from Russia. Yeah, like that's obvious. That's obvious.
But that's the thing, they say that the Jews the most smartest people in the world, and nevertheless, the Jew on duty, okay, the Jewish guy on duty, which was below for Potkin, yeah, he went to jail happily, and the Russian guy departed off to his government job. That's how it was. That's a result of partying with Dugin.
Holy fuck. Oh my god.
So you better be careful, yeah.
I have so many insights today, thanks to you. I'm so happy that I invited you. And by the way, my friends, we didn't see each other since like 2022, probably.
Yeah, since the war started, yeah.
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah, it was crazy. All right, let's switch to our updates and check out what else do we have. So as soon as Washington, D.C. placed sanctions against Lukoil and Rosneft, Lukoil, and this comes from Kommersant, the Russian media, Lukoil decided to sell its foreign assets after those sanctions were placed against the company and its my God, дочерняя компания. Please help me.
That's the not the filial, but the mother company and the daughter company. They say like that.
Yeah. So other like companies owned by Lukoil.
Associated with it, yeah.
Yeah. Thank you so much. So, for example, Lukoil has different oil refineries in Bulgaria and Romania, and also they have, according to the information that we have, they have huge network of gas stations around Europe. And that's very interesting. On the other hand, though, there is another version. I don't know if we can confirm this, but the money that they receive for selling those assets, there's a high chance that they will not receive them because they will be frozen as well. So it's an interesting situation for that company. Which is good, all right, because the more frozen assets we have, the more we can use to buy, for example, more Gripen aircraft for Ukraine and stuff like that. And switching to the main update of tonight, all right, we have another wave of good Ukrainian drones going to bring joy, going to the Russian territory, bringing joy and happiness to the Russian citizens who can finally celebrate that their special military operation is returning home. So yesterday, a bunch of those drones were reported heading towards Moscow, my God, what is Vladimir, Moscow, Tver, Ryazan, Tula, and over Oryol. And also they took the eastern road. They went over Voronezh to Tambov. Oh my God. I don't know why I'm so happy when they fly towards Tambov. I don't literally I don't have any enemies besides generally, all right, degenerates. I don't have any personal enemies in Tambov. I feel so happy when they fly there. I cannot explain this.
No, but I can understand you. I can understand you because the majority of the people who actually support war, okay, they don't actually live anywhere near the borderline or near those regions that can be affected by war. Okay, so they are absolutely happy to support it. Okay, because this comes with joy. Okay, this gives them the high spirit, okay, of something that is that is not real. Okay, they are totally delusional, but they live in this joy because there is no more joy to live in.
Absolutely. Oh my God. You go again, confirm if I'm right, or please debunk if I'm wrong, but it's literally you go 50 kilometers away from Moscow, and basically the civilization kind of starts not evolving, devolving.
Devolving, yeah.
Yeah.
That's true. That's shocking. Shocking, actually. That is shocking. I used to work I used to live in Moscow for 6 years in total. Okay. And 2 years I lived outside of Moscow, closer to the airport, which I used to work. And the other time I lived in the heart of Moscow, in Novokuznetskaya station that is 300 meters before Kremlin. So that was very, very close. And I can tell you, for sure, okay. Basically, Russia and even Moscow itself, okay, it's not like it's not getting the consistency. It's not consistent. Okay, there is no such thing as consistency in Russia. This is one of their quirks, I guess. Yeah, so basically you can see rough patches in the city, but the most shocking thing is when you get out of the city, like literally you don't have to go far, like get out of the city line, okay, and look around. Okay, I used to work, I used to live in the some minor it's not even town, that's like a village, okay, with a few high buildings. And that was shocking. There was no infrastructure, there was no shops, nothing. We had a big mall next to it, but this is it. If you want to get something, you either go to the metro, to the station, okay, back in the city, or you, I don't know, die in hunger. So that was the reality of floodings, okay, like under construction, under infrastructure, under everything you could imagine is there, like a few meters away, a few hundred meters away from Moscow. And if you go like outside Moscow region, okay, that's where you find nothing. Okay, where they have a few like a big cities like Moscow, maybe St. Petersburg, Rostov on Don, Yekaterinburg, Novosibirsk, Omsk, where Letov is from. Yeah, so don't try to leave Omsk. And this is it. This is it. In Ukraine, the situation like a totally different. You go from city to city, from town to town. You find different people and different culture. You could see it. In Russia, it's not like that. The most culturally developed area, you can say, is the central part and the south. Maybe Rostov-on-Don, Krasnodar, Stavropol, but not even Stavropol. They have a lot of migration now, so they are like pretty smushed up, like you can't see the character. But yeah, that's because it's so big. Okay, it can't be developed properly because this like too much space and not enough of, I don't know, lack of. I don't want to say lack of resources because they obviously have resources. They don't have the urge to use them properly. That's probably the problem.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about this in just a second because I wanted to say hello to Paul, to Trine, the Aussie, Steve, Sane, Jilke, Fuyuma, again, Extelis, hello, Sirish Room, and everyone else. It's so good to see you, my friends. Writer's Eye, hello, hello. I thought I quit smoking, vaping, but. I'm not using. Basically, yeah, I'm using the cheat code because this one is basically without nicotine, so I'm free of this freaking addiction. It sucks. Dakian, Ryder, hello, and Alan. So we have a very interesting commentary that I just lost because I'm stupid. From Alan, who says, "Very interesting. That's one reason Tucker Carlson looked like such an idiot." Let's talk about Tucker Carlson, all right? Because when Tucker Carlson was standing, and I talked about it already, Tucker Carlson is the very first case when Kremlin turned a completely Western person into a fucking savok, all right? Because Tucker Carlson, like, you can confirm, all right, as someone who lived there. Tucker Carlson was like standing like this, all right, по стойке смирно, and is like, look, we have very clean subways here. People are happy. People go here smiling. There are no drunk people, no trash. We clean the trash in the subway. Everything is good. Everyone is happy. Then he goes to the French Auchan, all right, French Auchan grocery store, and he goes, look. Grocery store, there are like fire exits are here and here, people smiling, you see, nobody's cursing Putin, everyone is happy, people can buy pumpkins. Why the fuck did he buy pumpkins? I have literally no idea. Literally, it was what, like February or something. Anyways, ordinary Russian people buying pumpkins in the supermarket, that's something fucking insane. But I would really love to hear your thoughts on that, because that shit gave me so much giggle. I'm still trying to recover.
To be honest, I didn't watch it, but I watched only in parts. Okay, like what I watched was actually hilarious. You are so right. Actually, it's so sad to see as a person who is highly educated and like professional. He used to be a professional. Come on, what happened to him now? Like, okay, and he is saying, he's conceiving things which should not be conceived out of the mouth of the person who understands like things from one another. Okay, like literally should not. And this was so sad because he was making such a fool out of himself. Okay, and it's like, come on, like I understand that it doesn't, like it's not even it doesn't even go well with his values. We're not talking about that, but the cognitive stuff which he was producing, okay, was not really aligning with who he is actually, yeah. And it's so sad, I couldn't watch it much actually.
One of the craziest things was like when look, the milk costs like, I don't know, like 200 rubles, something like that. Like, look, the milk is cheap. The milk costs like $1. What the fuck is that? In the United States, it costs gazillion dollars. We should do the same. At the same time, the fuck paid for all the things that he bought there. He paid like monthly salary of the cashier. And that's something he doesn't really talk. Like, he calls Americans to live the life like in the United States, clean subways, everyone's happy, cheap provision in the supermarkets and stuff like that. Salaries like $600-700.
Yeah, that's hilarious actually. Yeah, it's good to be in Russia with the dollar salary, being on the dollar salary. That way you'll be totally fine. I agree with them. If their goal was to represent this, that's good. They managed.
Yeah, and again, one of my friends, one of the few actually Russian bloggers I follow, sanctioned Ivan, because he doesn't live in Russia as well, so he's a proper dude to watch. So he also rewatched that episode and he debunked everything, and he's like, take a look at what he's buying. And Tucker Carlson is like, today we will buy the ordinary products that a Russian family consumes. He buys fucking pumpkins, cereal, I don't know, toilet cleaning fluid, shit like that, socks, whatever. And Ivana's like, the fuck is this shit? People don't buy this stuff, in the supermarkets. We don't even eat that. And it was amazing. My God.
Yeah, but it's not cheap anymore. It's cheap when you have a dollar salary. Again, let's keep that in mind. That's something.
Well, of course, if you are Tucker Carlson and you go to Russia and you have, for example, $200, which is 1/3 of monthly salary of a person, like of an ordinary person in Russia, that's basically $200 to 20,000 rubles.
Yeah.
That's a lot, actually. All right. Let's continue with our updates, because again, we're getting carried away all the time. In the Pokrovsk direction, 92nd Separate Assault Brigade of Ukrainian Armed Forces captured Russian Spetsnaz, and the Spetsnaz of the GRU-GSH of the Terrorist Federation. It's a very interesting fact, because the very fact that they are present there, and they were saying that Spetsnaz and Russian paratroopers, those that were shooting in HOSTOMEL, for example, they are the most combat-worthy Russian troops. At the same time, considering the level of training and the level of equipment of their current troops, they are not the most combat-worthy. They are the only combat-worthy troops, because currently Russia switched completely from utilizing combined arms to utilizing the tactics of the small assault groups. What is the tactics of the small assault groups, for those who don't know? That's basically they send 5, 10, 15, 20 men using the same path, in the same direction, all right? They send group after group after group, until and they die until at least one or two dudes manage to dig in, all right? And then they send more and more and more, and it takes basically thousands of lives and many, many days, if not months, but eventually they manage to move like 100 meters forward, right? And this is the tactics of the smaller groups, which in Ukrainian language we call the meat assaults, right? The meat waves, basically.
Meat stools, yeah.
Yeah, so they completely switched their troops. Why? Because they understood that this is the only most effective way to currently fight against Ukraine. They lost majority of their tanks, they lost majority of the armored vehicles and everything else. They are buying shells in North Korea because they cannot shoot 40,000 shells a day like they did in 2022, right? Currently, it's 3, maximum 5,000 a day, like in best case or in worst case. So they switched to the tactic of slowly bleeding Ukrainian forces every day with their meat, with their human material, until Ukrainian forces are, for example, accidentally run out of ammunition, run out of ammo for heavy machine guns, or run out of drones to cover this direction. And then one or two assholes manage to dig in, and the Russians will send more troops. So when they dig in and they hold this position, if they manage to hold it, of course, they turn this position into a point of concentration of their troops, so then they can spread their troops further. And this is how their tactics of the smaller groups work. It's not even tactics. That's literally like a butchery, all right? A butchery in the real life.
That's a butchery, yeah. There's.
Yeah.
They pursue the same tactics they used in the World War II. And just to remind everyone, it was 70 years ago, right? And nothing changed basically. So, but that's the beauty of the history. Okay, it never repeats itself in full. Okay, and despite like now it's not 1945. Okay, and they like no one can win or no one can win a battle. Okay, with having only human power, it's not possible anymore. And like. But since they have nothing to do, and they don't want to, like that's the the only let's say the only bad about Russians and like we say terrorist federation is they don't want to learn. Okay, they don't want to think, basically, and they are better. It's easier for them to make their own people die in the industrial scale. That's tremendous. Like no one knows exactly how many people died. No one knows how many people are still being in Ukraine. Okay, no one knows. Like no, I don't know about names. Okay, get the range. 5, 10, 15, 20. How many people are we talking about? No one knows. Okay, and no one even wants to know. And the people's brain is getting so damaged by the whole situation, so traumatized that they no longer consider like soldiers to being human beings. Okay, they consider their own soldiers. I'm not talking about Ukrainian soldiers. Forget about that. The whole world is like a big butchery for them. That's for sure. But they don't even consider their own, like our boys. Like they say, наши мальчики. Yeah, they don't even consider them a human.
Yeah, absolutely. The other day we reviewed that instruction on how to properly self-unalive if you don't want to go to like prison and everything else in Ukraine. So the instructions that are disseminated among the Russian personnel. But the funniest thing about this, you want to know, it's like when you, for example, Russian soldier, all right, gets halved by Ukrainian drone accidentally, dropping a bomb or something like that. And he decides to actually follow this instruction and self-unalive himself, all right, turn him into a proper fertilized soil for Ukrainian cucumbers. Basically, what he does, he self-unalives, all right, following the instruction that is given to him, but his family cannot receive compensation because he's not considered killed in action. He's considered
like MIA. Yes, it's called MIA, if I'm not mistaken.
So no, MIA is when, for example, there's a soldier, Russians take his passport, burn it, and basically, then he's missing in action, and his family still doesn't receive compensation. But when he is self-unalived, with his own weapon, then it also doesn't count as killed in action. There is like a whole list of such cases when Russian widows are nagging about it because, oh my God, my husband, I saw my husband, becoming better on a Ukrainian drone footage, and I cannot receive compensation because the Ministry of Internal Affairs and Stolen Toilets told me that no, he killed himself. And basically, I cannot receive compensation. So he took all those millions with him. Smart. That chat is smart. Oh my God! Like, give them instructions and save money. That is beautiful. That is like, oh my God. In Sevastopol, during works in the docks, the Russian floating crane turned around. So 20 Russians received different injuries. 2 became better. And basically went fishing. So the hell is that? I don't know why I even saved this one, but on the other hand, Sevastopol is a Ukrainian land. Maybe, I don't know, something Ukrainian dolphins, I don't know. I have no idea.
We'll enjoy, definitely.
Yeah, jellyfish, Ukrainian jellyfish. Beavers. We talked about beavers yesterday. Yeah, I think those were beavers because there's, for example, this dam being hit by beavers in Belgorod Oblast, and currently it's flooding a lot of area, including the area where Russian troops are accumulated to continue their offensive in Sumy. And we talked yesterday, like the whole day, about beaver. Like, people love animals so much, not only animals, of course, but we talked about beavers the whole morning. So I think it's probably the case as well here. Like, look at that. Definitely beavers, or
some kind of Ukrainian beavers. Yeah, they were hired and funded by SBU. Well.
Yeah, or for example, when they say that this ship is fucked, for example, in Russian language, этому кораблю пизда, for example, something like that. And pizda can actually be translated in a way like a beaver. So this ship got beavered, all right.
Nice.
So hard to translate, those linguistic nuances, but I'm doing my best. All right. We have some encouraging Eli Bober kurva. Oh my god. Україна визначилася з основною бойовою машиною. So, Ukraine decided what its main infantry fighting vehicle, also known as armored personnel carrier, will be. So, Ukraine decided that our country will be arming our armed forces with KF-41 Lynx from now on. And this amazing machine is built by Rheinmetall. According to the Defense Network, the first Lynx that is designed in Hungary, by the way, was delivered to Ukraine in the late 2024 for testing. So I was also impressed because I didn't see them much on the battlefield. Generally speaking, I didn't see them in any footage at all. But this stuff is actually very modern. It is tracked, meaning that it will have much better capability on the muddy terrain and during, for example, winters and between the seasons. Yeah, this stuff actually looks very, very good. I gotta check out its specifications because I cannot tell you what kind of cannon that is. I can tell that besides cannon, they have some very, very interesting equipment there. I think they can mount a machine gun over here, but I might be wrong because like I am not acquainted with that Wunderwaffe at all. So, hello Daniel, hello Herzenkönig, all right. Still kind of struggling a bit with German pronunciation. Sir Garrick, hello my friend, and Mike, 1 minute to midnight. Maria de Rosario de Araujo Faria Pires. Oh my god, that took a lot of my breath. Amazing name. Michael and Landos, Gillian Farlett, and Stephen, hello. Hello as well. WD. JG, як справи? Everything's good. Все чудово. Daniel Miller says that the real name of that place is Bladgorod, actually, which yeah, could be, sounds good. Sean Higgins, it's hard to beat German engineering, top notch. I can confirm this one. Absolutely. German engineering is absolutely amazing, and I can tell, for example, there's a lot of different museums here, and one of the coolest museums that I visited is actually the museum in Bonn, Museum of German History. It's where Germans bring, for example, their students, their kids, schoolboys, schoolgirls, and they learn their history from the I think from earlier ages through the World War II, through the revival of Germany as a democratic country already, the Industrial Revolution, the Western Germany, and that one is so cool because you can see a lot of stuff, for example, designed in 70s, 80s, the digitalization of Germany, which, by the way, it's good, all right. Digitalization is always good, but Ukraine, again, I think you can confirm that Ukrainian digitalization cannot be compared with at all because, in Ukraine, you can take your phone in 15 minutes, you can create your very, very own bank card, for example, in Mono, and you can already use it. You can pay using this in PayPal, in the online stores and everything else. In other countries, you really have to go yourself with your passport and sit there in the bank, and you also have to have appointment, which may, happen in 3 days, after you made this appointment, and then you have to wait a bit more and stuff like that. So Ukraine, in terms of IT, is absolutely amazing. What do you think, by the way, about the level of IT development in Ukraine?
In Ukraine, I'll tell you what. I used to work in Qatar, okay, and we saw Qatar as the top notch of the digitalization because they had a lot of money and they had a lot of vision. But when I came back to Russia, when I came back to Ukraine, basically I was shocked that there was already this this contactless pay. Okay, you could pay with your phone. Where back in Qatar at the same time we were not even there. And okay, it was not that bad. You didn't have appointments in banks, of course, but you still had to go to the bank to open up your account, to release, to issue your card and all this. So yes, of course, it's much better here. But in my personal opinion, the world is bound to digitalization. We can't escape that. So sooner or later, it will be more or less everywhere, anywhere. Okay, even in Kenya or Qatar or Russia and Ukraine, Germany, you name it, basically. It will be there. When, that's a different question, but it will be there.
Mm-hmm. We have a commentary from Goldfingers who says, I did not realize the British Vickers company was from World War II. Was now part of Rheinmetall. I didn't know that myself, actually. That's interesting. Stealth bomber was a German design. Yes, by the way, it was, and generally speaking, on the majority of the people who actually worked in the American Space Company, people who helped launch people on the moon and things like that, and designed the first missiles that took people to the outer space in the United States, like Werner von Braun and yada yada. There were actually a lot of Germans and also a lot of people who used the German patents that were taken after the Third Reich collapsed. So I can confirm, like in terms of technology, Germans are very, very good.
But that's not only Germans, you can't say like this no more in the modern world, okay? Because like if there was something called the right of the strong or the right of the stance, somebody would use it now, okay? Russia is trying to use now, and they're not even closer to the success, okay? There's no thing as like someone being superior to others anymore. The key is in cooperation, okay? No one can be stronger than the other one. We all need to cooperate. That's what I believe in. And if you can, I think you can confirm that if back in 2008, okay, in 2014, okay, the world, the adequate world would get together, okay, and beat the crap out of Russia at some point, nothing would happen. Nothing. Because they're like bullies, okay? The more you back off, the more they offend, they tend to offend you. Okay? If you smash their face, they'll just back off. Then they are not ready, they're not prepared for the resistance, okay, and that's what is happening in Ukraine. Okay, we went out from Kyiv in 3 days, okay, to we're gonna have a victory maybe in 2040. That's our
Yeah,
goal.
yeah.
Yeah, that's what happened.
Yeah, they were gonna capture Washington D.C., but on their glorious way, they stumbled upon Pokrovsk, a
Yeah,
tiny
yeah,
town
yeah.
in Ukraine. But you are 100% right, and this is what I am. My dear friends will confirm that in the chat. That I am saying every single time that we should always cooperate, and we are only strong when we are together. Grandpa Savkovich from Irpin, from Katerinivka. That's basically what he said. We are always stronger when we are together, when we cooperate through learning, trade, education, culture, and respect. And this is the strongest thing that we have. Instead of separating people, you are left, you are right, you are like, I don't know, white, you are black, you are yellow, you are wrong, you are right. We should always be together against the terrorism, right? Because there are obvious terrorist countries, obvious terrorist regimes nowadays that are threatening the world. Unfortunately, they are more united and dedicated to destroy us than currently we are united and dedicated to survive and to fight back, all right, to be resilient and resistant. So that's something that we should always remember. Okay, let's check out something positive, right? Because here we can see this amazing fucking shit taking place in Sakhalin, 7,000 kilometers from Ukrainian. Holy shit, 7,000 kilometers from Ukraine. So, heating power plant in Sakhalin, on the Sakhalin island, decided to expire, and the city remains without electricity. More than 100,000 happy Russian citizens can now basically repeat what they did in that amazing social advertisement, where Ukrainians and Europeans were freezing, eating hamsters, and being very, very nostalgic for having electricity, Russian gas, and Russian balalaika. So Russian Sakhalin is now enjoying darkness, enjoying candles. Maybe it will bring some, I don't know,
Romantic atmosphere, yeah, baby boom. Like that's what they wanted. No, we are in fulfilling their desire. Come on, less
yeah.
power, more time to breathe. I don't know what they want. Yeah, that's what you wanted, isn't it?
That's absolutely beautiful. We see that Yuzhno-Sakhalinsk, Korsakov, Dolinsk, Holmsk, Uglegorsk, Alexandrovsk, Sakhalinsky, Makarov, and amazing Russian town of Paranaisk are now remaining without electricity until today, by the way. And we have some more footage showing that. So here they kind of have lights and electricity, and
Ooh.
here they don't have it anymore. How cool. So nobody knows what happened, and Russians cannot tell for sure, but I think this is something that is called karma, basically. When you wish Europeans to spend the rest of their life in darkness, freezing, eating hamsters, and doing prostitution to survive. That's basically what happens to you. Did you hear about Cardiff, by the way?
About
Cardiff.
Cardiff? No, what happened there?
Oh, you don't know about Cardiff. So, 2022, I think. 2022, as soon as European countries started literally rerouting their gas and oil import and fuel import, Russians went absolutely mad, and they ordered all the Russian propagandists. My friends, I will tell this to Sophia. She's gonna love it. So they decided to tell Europeans that they live very, very poor, and they did a very bad choice. All right, so. They created a bunch of television shows. You can still find it in YouTube, for example, and I showed those videos to our dear viewers like years ago. They're saying that people in Europe are now living poorly, all right? They have a very, very poor life because they don't have Russian gas anymore. And
I saw it. Yeah, I got it. I got it.
People in Germany like buying candles because they are freezing. And also people in Cardiff. Cardiff is a town in the United Kingdom. So people in Cardiff women have to do prostitution to survive. And the people are so poor, so they have to heat their themselves like with whatever they can, but they have to warm up their food on the radiators. So literally they throw the food on the radiators at home in order to cook it because they don't have gas, all right, in their homes. And they are like they're suffering, all right, they're suffering. So since that moment, Cardiff basically, Jason Cowley says that's Cardiff sex tunnels. Yeah, the only place where they can now survive and get warm is basically in the sex tunnels. Jose, that I know that it's a capital of Wales, all right. I know that it's capital of Wales, but according to the Russians, that's basically a tiny poor town, all right.
That's a capital of hell.
Yeah. Capital of villages, basically, according to Solovyov, for example. Yeah. So Cardiff basically turned into a symbol of resistance. On my channel, Cardiff is literally a symbol of European resistance. We always express the words of support to the beautiful people of Cardiff. We hope that they won't freeze this winter. Hope that everything's fine. That their food will not be too cold, right, and things like that.
All right.
Okay, I should. Jose says I should know. I lived there for years before moving to Poland, and know we had enough sheep. We didn't need to eat pat. Please don't tell that to Russians, all right? Don't ruin their world, because that will literally shatter their all hopes that you guys are suffering too, as much as Russians do, all right?
Yeah.
So basically, best wishes to the heroic people of Cardiff. I'm not joking. You guys are heroes in my eyes, because when Russians talk shit about you, that actually tells a lot. That basically is like a seal of approval, when Russians say bullshit about you.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's very true. Yeah.
So you have to be happy about that, about Russians mentioning you. So what else do we have? We have information coming from President Zelensky, who yesterday reported that they decided to expand the geography of the long-range strikes on the Russian territory, which is absolutely amazing. Also, Ukrainians are now using more than 120 French Caesar artillery systems on the front line. That is according to Olivier Travert, the chief of the marketing and sales of KNDS France. Also, we have some interesting... Who's meowing? Who's meowing?
Meowing, that's a cat, yeah. She walked in and she demanded attention.
Which pets, by the way, do you have besides cats, or that's the only one?
That's the only one. That's one I brought from Qatar. So she's my little Qatari princess, yeah.
So we have information about Firepoint that is currently one of the biggest manufacturers of UAVs in Ukraine. They have, oh my God, I think she wants to join us. She wants to join our stream so much. People love cats, by the way. They're in the chat. If you show her, they will be absolutely happy. So the Ukrainian kamikaze drones known as FP1, they are known for striking Russian oil refineries at a range of approximately 1,300 kilometers from Ukraine, inside the terrorist federation. And each of those long-range drones costs approximately $58,000. A drone that actually makes it almost 1,400 kilometers, brings 60 kilograms of explosives, and it is said that Ukraine is using those drones for approximately 60% of strikes that take place in the terrorist federation. Oh my God, what the fuck is this? So, you probably know about the Russian Terminator vehicle, all right? And that's, by the way, something that, Sophia, you mentioned earlier on this video, that Russian analog govnet, the stuff that has no analogs, Russian nuclear cruise missile Burevestnik, Russian whatever, like indestructible Ka-52 helicopter, the flying tank and stuff like that. So you probably know that they designed this absolutely horrible machine called Terminator, which is basically two heavy machine guns. And they brought just a couple, as far as I remember, they brought just a couple of them to Ukraine, and they didn't like it much, all right, the Russians themselves. Because it turned out that Ukrainian drones don't really care if this shit is called Terminator, Buratino, whatever. So the Russians decided to actually showcase how this stuff is shooting, and of course they made this absolutely amazing footage. Yes, what the fuck is wrong with that shit?
Why is it moving so much? Is it supposed to be moving that much? I'm not... What am I looking at?
Well, logically, it's not supposed to move like that. Logically, it's not like it's supposed to be designed for a precise fire, all right?
Precise.
Yeah. But like, okay. I'm lost here. Like, doesn't look much precise to me. Like, I wouldn't call it extremely precise looking at like that stuff, that wobbles like, I don't know, a strip dancer dancing lambada, you can see things like that as well.
Hips don't lie, yeah, this whole thing, yeah. Yeah, That's interesting. Basically, you know, I used to work in aviation, so yeah, so I'm a little familiar with the ways Russians build up their aircrafts and their arms, yeah, consequently. So with a common approach, and I can tell you that the only things that they were concerned about, that ever concerned about, yeah, is the drag, okay, is the power, okay, and basically that's it. They needed density, they needed power, they needed drag. That's it. The other stuff, which is, you know, like comes with it, that environmental protection, or I don't know, the noise protection, God forbid, or I don't know, some safety like requirements. Forget about it. Okay, they don't matter. The only thing that has mattered, that drug and power. That's basically they do it here, and this is bound to it's doomed. Basically, it's not gonna be around for much longer. It's non-competitive. It's simply non-competitive. It cannot compare. It cannot compete with the. I mean, sorry, this whole thing, whatever they design now, cannot compete with the rest of the world.
I can agree
Simply
on
not
that.
competitive.
I can agree on that. Remember those multiple cases when Russians were ejecting from their fighter jets over Ukraine and literally fell down, like no parachute, nothing, like they just crashed in those seats. Like the very first months of the Russian invasion, like it was actually everywhere in the news. The dude ejects and basically just crashes into the ground without his parachute opening. What the fuck?
Yeah, that's horrible. And you can imagine how expensive these like specialists, these pilots are to train, to bring to life. You can imagine how like expensive they are, and they like lose them. They think they can afford losing them just like that, you know,
Yeah.
just in a casual battle.
Yeah, well, basically because they're preparing to build the army based on the disposable soldiers. Uh, can you tell three biggest fuck ups in the Russian aviation, like from your experience?
You know, that's a difficult one actually, because I do believe in aviation, and I do believe in people that work in aviation all over the world, even if they're Russian. but but I still can figure out some. Okay, number
And
one is, yeah.
why I'm asking this is because I really need to pee, and I really need you to talk for like 1 minute, all right, with me outside the screen.
Okay. So okay, number one is, I would say it's mm, urge urge to look better rather than to be better. Okay, that's something. The other thing is, uh, they don't care about commercial part. They don't care about environmental part. They don't care about anything but achieving the goal. Which goal? That is different question. But anything to achieve the goal, that's their specialty. Okay, and the third one is, mm, they think a lot of stuff can be done without preparation. Okay, just because they want it so much, and this is not going to work as well. So basically, Russian aviation is the power tool, but considering the today's realities, it's that basically. Okay, and you left me here alone.
I am back. I am back. I am here. All right.
Okay.
Yeah, you literally you saved my life. Oh my God, I was literally sitting here and praying. All right, all right. So we're back. They ask people in the chat ask you to show the cat, but let's do it. Let's do it the other time, right? When the cat is
Of
closed.
course.
All right. Let's talk about other updates that we have. So there was a Russian mechanized attack, and this one was actually kind of big. Like I can tell from what they say in the description that First Armed Corps Azov actually deflected the Russian mechanized attack that involved almost 30 different vehicles, and from the footage we can see, for example, the Russian they actually use BMPs. I'm impressed. All right. Or Mataligas, those are Russian cope tanks with cope cages, and they are getting improved. All right. The very fact that they used actually so much vehicles in that direction actually shows that Putin still wants to take Pokrovsk in the shorter terms. We know that according to the information from our intelligence, the Russians wanted to take control over Pokrovsk before 15th of October. They failed, and they keep trying. They keep trying. Other Russian attacks, all right, so-called mechanized attacks that we can observe, for example, on other directions, they usually involve a lot of bikes, golf carts, I don't know, horses,
Horses,
Lada,
yeah. That was my next
Lada
question.
cars, and things like that. But that's interesting, all right. That's interesting that they actually use so many vehicles. So they used 2 tanks, 12 BBMs, one lot. I don't know this one. That's good. That's good. So it's also confirmed that the Russians managed to actually deploy their troops, and currently in the area there's an operation of search and rescue, all right, search and rescue conducted by Ukrainian defenders. So we hope that they will rescue a lot of those Russian soldiers, and also 17 Ukrainian kids, guys. This one is actually very, very inspiring. 17 Ukrainian kids and teenagers were returned back from the temporarily occupied territories of Ukraine in frames of the initiative called Bring Kids Back. So a very interesting case, by the way. A 17-year-old boy returned home, and this very boy, his story is actually very interesting because the Russian occupiers took him to the military camp for kids, a camp that is located near Melitopol. Previously, we talked about this. We had information that Russians are expanding those military camps for children. They expand not only the ones that are located on the Russian territory, like the notorious Russian camp for kids called Avangard in the Volgograd, but also in Crimea and on the occupied territories, Donetsk, Luhansk regions, all that. So this one was taken to, I believe, a new military camp that is established near Melitopol, where he was indoctrinated and trained basically to become a future invader in the terrorist Russian army. And also they managed to save a 7-year-old boy who lived with his grandma and grandpa 3 years on the left bank of Kherson. And his parents went to Kherson when the city was already occupied and they couldn't return back because the bridge was destroyed. So also two kids that were bullied in the school by the teachers because of being Ukrainian children, basically speaking Ukrainian or having Ukrainian views, they also returned and saved. So the report says that that's Fifth Channel, right? They say that the kids are receiving psychological help and they will soon receive new IDs, which is a great update. Of course, we are very, very grateful to Melania Trump that works very hard to return Ukrainian kids home. But I think Melania Trump should join the Ukrainian initiative called Bring Kids Back, because that would be probably a bit more effective. All right, I am not the hater of Melania Trump here. I sincerely, I'm grateful for her working very, very hard to return those 8 Ukrainian children out of 20,000 that were kidnapped by the Russian invaders, and I'm happy that she does that. This one. Oh, by the way, do you know anything about the military camps for kids on the Russian territory? And generally, did you ever?
Yeah, but basically, all I know about them is they exist. They actually started this campaign after I left. So actually, I'm not really aware of that. But I mean, I don't know much about that. But what I do know is these camps are positioned as a summer children's camps, like the institution which we used to. Okay, but in fact, like let's start from the beginning. Okay, so let's start from the start. Russia does hunt down children, okay, because they have lack of newborns. They lost the majority of the population in the war, and they keep losing them people, okay, and that's why they need more people. They need more to fight in war. They need more people to pay taxes, and they need more people to work on the casual works, okay. So basically, that's why they do hunt down children, like not only in Ukraine, but around Russia as well, and in Russia and around Russia and all the neighbor countries. So no one is safe. I mean, I'm not like I'm not getting like too dark with it. That's just the reality we live in, okay? Because when you see the number of missing kids, and you see like my heart actually bleeding when I see them, seriously, because I know that now nothing good is going to happen to these children, to these people in Russia, because normally people get out of Russia, and these people were forced to get back in Russia. So basically, I can only I pity them, seriously. That's horrible.
Yeah, that's absolutely horrible. Like there's absolutely nothing beautiful about Russians indoctrinating kids to literally sign contracts as soon as they are adult and basically thrown into a meat assault, because they will not be fighting in the professional army. They will basically be fighting as a cannon fodder in those small assault groups that Russians are switching to. And
Yeah, but just imagine another thing, yeah, being torn out of your family, okay, getting to the unknown territory with unknown people, with people who you don't know. You don't know what's gonna happen. Like it can be anything. You could find yourself in, like, let's say Moscow, okay, or like suburbs of Moscow, or you can find yourself deep in Russia in Ulyanovsk, God forbid, okay, when nothing good is happening ever. And the only, like, the only case, the only time when Russian government remembers that they have these territories is when they have when they need more soldiers, basically, or they need more taxes, or they need something from this land, okay. Like other times it simply doesn't exist. So you can be balancing between being no one in Russia and being someone who is obliged to pay taxes and fighting the battles. Nice choice to make.
yeah, absolutely. And you mentioned Ulyanovsk. Literally, when you said Ulyanovsk, I had like cold shivers instantly. For the reason I cannot explain. Ulyanovsk. Oh my God! Probably
Yeah, that's a no man's land. That's a no man's land.
that's like battery on Earth sounds like. I don't know. Ulyanovsk. Ulyanovsk. The other day we were watching beautiful pictures from Kolyma. and the impression that this was actually something like Bakhmut or whatever, because the houses look bombed, they have no windows, and at the same
Yeah,
time,
they're already bombed. No one did, but they are bombed. Yeah.
what the hell?
That's what happened. Yeah, exactly.
That amazing what was that amazing march dedicated to like Victory Day in Russia, you know, when they marched down those streets with flags, people in like, you know, tracker suits, you know, like all the local gopniks and stuff, and like through the streets that are completely falling apart, you know, houses without windows, but they are the victors. The question is like,
Yeah.
why? The question that Russian veterans keep asking themselves since 1945 is, why do the victors live in worse condition than those that were defeated, all right, in the World War II?
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck is wrong with that? So, what else do we have? We have something really, really cool, my friends, because yesterday Ukraine actually celebrated the Day of Writing and Language. And French diplomats tried to pronounce some of the Ukrainian words. All right, this one actually really cute because they were asked some very, very freaking hard Ukrainian words like palyanytsa and stuff. So let's check it out.
Palyanytsa is okay. You try to pronounce 11 in Ukrainian.
Like I taught my Persian girl how to pronounce palyanytsa without any accent. Like she does it professionally, right? She knocks on the door when she returns. I'm like the password. She's like palyanytsa. I will just open the door and let her in. Yeah, so let's check this one out because this one is really, really cool.
Bravo.
Oh là là.
Добрий день.
Добрий день.
Добрий день.
Добрий день.
Добрий day. All right. Like I give 5 out of 5. Not bad. Not bad. What do you say?
Yeah, it sound more Russian to me than Ukrainian, but probably that's because the alteration they used to, you know, the sound that they used to, because it's like Dane in Ukrainian, but Dane in Russian, like
Yeah.
that's like that.
Okay, let's continue.
Мене звати Валерій.
Мене звати Себастьян.
Мене звати Вансан.
Мене звати Оріан.
Мене звати Седрик.
Мене звати Антуан.
Not bad. All right. Not bad. All right. I give like 4.5 out of 5.
Agree.
Yeah, not bad. So мене звати is my name is, right? Okay, let's continue.
Мене звати Матільда, я працюю в посольстві Франції в Україні.
What?
Whoa, that's
Whoa.
cheating. That's called cheating. She knows. She knew that.
Whoa.
Мене звати Антуан.
Мене звати Матільда, я працюю в посольстві Франції в Україні.
Holy shit! Oh my god. This one receives 6 out of 5.
It's cheater. She's a cheater.
You think?
No, she knew that. Yeah, I mean, that's what she says. She's great. I mean, absolutely, like amazing language, amazing pronunciation, but she's a cheater.
I guess. All right, let's continue.
Оподатковувати.
Використовувати.
Guys, the words...
Підприємство.
The word, so, оподатковувати, all right? This word means to tax, all right?
To tax, yeah.
To taxate, right? Оподатковувати. Like, I don't blame them because this word is designed to make people suffer, all right? It's true.
Товувати.
Використовувати.
Використовувати. Again, in Ukrainian language, yeah, that's to use, all right? The reason why I like English language so much is because generally the words are short, all right? Like you can sing metal, you can sing whatever using English language easily because The words are so tiny. Ukrainian words are long. They're like very long and rich. Because size matters. Size matters. I agree.
Підприємство.
Nice. Nice. Military. Lead the way. Підприємство. Not bad.
Шту... Шкутилхати.
Not
What
bad.
is this word?
Шкутильгати
What is that?
кавилять.
Oh, got it.
Yeah,
Limb, to limb.
to limp. Yeah, so like when you hurt your leg and you walk like an injured duck. All right, this is what we call it. Шкутильгати. This one is also all right. I agree. This one is a word from a Ukrainian torture chamber located deep in the sex tunnels.
Реструктуризований.
That one was oh my god.
Вельми нашовний.
So I need to open the door. I'll be back in 5 minutes. Please be here, all right?
Okay.
Friends, I'm very, very sorry. I had to pick a tiny package, and yeah, oh my God, my phones are falling apart. What is happening? So restructurizovanий. That's restructurized.
Restructurized, yeah, restructure.
Yeah, restructurized, restructurizований. This one is like the highest level of torture. All right, it's worse than паляниця, I think. It's worse than шкутильгати. Шкутильгати is kindergarten level of torture.
Outdated, I think, yeah.
Yeah, compared to this one. All right, let's continue.
Зований.
Вельми нашовний.
Вельми шановний.
Вельми шановний.
Dear, no, not dear.
The dearest.
The dearest, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Dearest people, I would say so. Like, yeah, you could say like that, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like dearest people.
Dearest and most faithful person. Something like that. Вельми шановний. He did well. Okay, I give like 4 1/3 for this one.
Вельми шановний.
Not bad.
Вельми шановний.
Пуцвірінок. Що ви сказати?
Пуцвірінок.
She's Ukrainian speaking. She just doesn't know too many words, I guess. Her vocabulary is restricted by her work, I guess. But I would bet she's Ukrainian speaking in general.
It seems so. I think so. I think she was born in like in a Ukrainian family, though she's Matilda, like she lived in France 100%. Yeah, but Putzvirinak, yeah, not bad. Not bad.
Мистецтвознавший.
Незалежність.
The military are military, all right? Like this sir is just.
That's okay. Yeah, that's okay. He can get it. He can get it that we can, distinguish the words. So that's nice. That's okay. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Wait, we have a challenge coming from our dear viewers. Donau-Dampf Schifffahrtskapitänsoden.
Is
All
this
right.
German?
Ja, ja, genau. Donau-Dampf Schifffahrtskapitänsoden. All right, something like this, right? Or try Steuervorprüfungsantragsformular. All right, I did it. Holy God, guys, are you seriously?
They just dropped something on the keyboard. Don't worry. They're just pranking you. They just dropped something, on the keyboard and just decided to press enter after.
No, actually, this one is an actual word because I can recognize that it's something made out of beef. All right, so this one is Rindfleischtiketierungsüberwachungs Aufgabenübertragungsgesetz. Wow.
You did it.
Holy fuck. Oh my god. Whew. Not bad. Yeah, the writer says cat on keyboard language. Oh my god. Actually, I think it was my birthday. I think it was my birthday when I decided to face the challenges, all right? And my friends and family there in the chat were posting the craziest words from their language. And I tried to pronounce them. That was insane. Holy moly. That was, oh my god. All right, let's continue with this one because I think it's cool. Again, the military are just doing what they're told, all right? Pronounce the letter or pronounce the word yes, sir, and they just do it. They don't care.
Le fameux Palianetsia. Bon, je passe mon diplôme d'ukrainité avec Palianetsia.
Palanica. Palanica.
Паляниця.
Oh yeah.
Паляниця.
That's our cheetah.
Паляниця.
Маляниця. Ну, паляниця.
Пробачте мені мою французьку.
Є треба розташувати кондиціонер.
So the military, all right, I think that's military attaché. He says, pardon my French, all right, in Ukrainian. This one was good.
Yeah,
I
agree.
Yeah, this one was really good.
Мою французьку.
Є треба розташувати кондиціонер.
This one means where do I put the conditioner? Which is again best confirmation that we Europeans, we have absolutely different culture, all right, with for example Russian invaders, because Russian invaders would usually ask where do I take the conditioner, and here you can see a different approach. So what else?
Je ne vmerla... oui. Je ne vmerla Україні, ні слава, ні воля.
Good.
Перехід на станцію Майдан. Перехід на станцію Майдан Незалежності.
That was close.
That was close. I agree. This one was good.
Відбій повітряної тривоги.
Yeah, this means end of the air alert. Not bad. Not bad. I would trust her my life, actually, if she reported that.
Ідентифікаційний код.
That word. Oh my god. Can you pronounce this one?
Ідентифікаційний код.
Identificaционный код. Yeah.
Yeah, that's. I have an accent. I know that's horrible, but I'm really trying.
Идентификаційний.
Ident, Identifikacyjny.
Идентификаційний.
Identifikacyjny.
So, like this one actually took me a year to learn. All right, how to say it properly. It took me a year myself. So I don't
Yeah.
blame them either. All right, let's continue. Like this is cool actually.
Слава Україні!
Слава Україні!
Слава Україні, звичайно.
Слава Україні!
Слава Україні!
Слава Україні!
Слава Україні!
This one is good. Oh my god! Like I love this one absolutely.
Yeah, that's really really cool. And
Yeah.
the most coolest part is that you cannot get in prison for saying "Glory to Ukraine" or "Slava Ukraini" in Ukraine, because in Russia you can go to prison for saying out loud "Glory to Russia" in the street in Russia. Ta-dam!
Really?
Yes, "Glory to Ukraine," "Glory is Russia," "Glory to Russia" are both banned expressions in Russia.
How? Why? How come?
How dare they? Yeah.
Why?
Exactly. That comes. You remember we discussed that organization RNA before, right? So basically, this was their motto: "Glory to Russia," "Slava Россия," and then ban it first. And then when Ukrainian, let's say, question stepped in, yeah, they just banned it too, just in case.
I'm surprised. That's
Yeah,
interesting.
yeah, exactly. That's the whole point. Country that depictures, okay, like pictures and represents glory to itself, is not allowed to say glory to Russia in Russia. Okay, fine.
That's so good. Apparently, I don't know. Anyway, yeah. This one was, I showed this video with our French ambassadors and representatives just to inspire you to learn Ukrainian language, because this stuff is hard. All right, compared to other languages, this stuff is hard, and it requires actually to be a very brave person to start learning all that. 7 cases, all right, 33 letters in the alphabet and stuff like that. It requires a lot of dedication to learn actually. If you know Slavic language, I would not say that it's really hard. All right. It's not too hard to switch, for example, Russian, Ukrainian, Polish, Belarusian. I think is even harder than like Polish and Ukrainian.
From
Yeah.
Russian it's harder. Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, but generally, if you like challenges, learning Ukrainian language is a very, very cool challenge, actually, because it's hard, but it's very rewarding, all right? And if you speak Ukrainian language, you can easily speak to Poles, to Czechs, to Slovaks, Bosniaks, Croatians. You can do
Slovenian,
it.
yeah.
Yeah, you can do it easily. So what else do we have? Because we are approaching the end of the stream, but we still have a couple of updates that I also wanted to mention. So kudos to the French embassy, all right, in Ukraine, French diplomats. They did extremely well. I was surprised, all right, because even pronouncing things like "shkutilhati velmi shanovny," that is so hard. And let's return to a tiny cringe, all right? The tiny cringe that we actually mentioned just in the beginning of our stream. This is Я и мой друг вертолет. This is a Russian Telegram channel that posts different stuff related to the Russian aviation. And here they show Russian helicopter. They say that this one is Ukropokosитель. I don't know how to translate this one.
Ukropokosитель. Wait. Lawn mower means Ukropokosитель will be Ukrainian mower.
Yeah, like Ukraine more, something like that.
Ukrainian. I'm not sure which they thought that they kept in mind. What exactly, but yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Like Ukraine mover.
Yeah, and immediately after that, they posted an obituary dedicated to their Ka-52, the amazing Russian flying tank, and stuff like that. And then we have another one coming from Avia Hub. Here they say, like, a pair of Ka-52 are gloriously shooting the unguided rockets at Ukrainians, and I think that Sophia ran away accidentally, but she will join us back, right? So immediately after that, hey, welcome back. Are you here?
I apologize. I accidentally locked myself out. I'm sorry. I'm here.
It's fine. It's fine. Oh my god, I can see two myself and one you. What the? Wait a second. Let me do like this. And then do properly like this. And then do like this. All right, now it's good, because I thought that I was like drunk or something. So here they are showing a pair of Ka-52 gloriously shooting Ukrainians with unguided rockets. And again, immediately after that, they post the dedication to the Russian Ka-52 that was shot down apparently by Russians themselves, which is kind of crazy. Tatiana Mantian. Yeah. Tatiana Mantian, do you know this person?
I know the name, but I'm not really familiar. If you remind me, I may be knowing that. Yeah.
Yeah, so she's like a collaboration. She was a lawyer and self-proclaimed human rights protection in Ukraine. Before Yanukovych times, she started fucking the former Minister of Internal Affairs in the Yanukovych government. And then, as soon as the Russian invasion started, they fled to Moscovia. All right.
Collaborants. Okay.
Yeah, so she's a collaborationist, but because she's technically she's a Ukrainian, right? And she cannot, keep in line with the propagandist bullshit in the terrorist federation. She started like criticizing, basically like Girkin Strelkov and that club of the angry Russian patriots, right? So. They decided to be a bit more vocal because the Putin's she, all right, do not represent the reality, the she that he feeds to his population, and that was one of the reasons, by the way, why Strelkov went to jail, why Prigozhin got toasted. And we can see the same situation with Tatiana Mantian. So she's a Ukrainian person, technically, all right, we don't like her, but she is known for being, first of all, crazy, absolutely crazy, she's fucking nuts. At the same time, she likes to speak out, all right? Like, she sees that Russians toast like thousands of their troops in the meat assaults, and she basically talks about that. So eventually she stopped being invited to different TV shows in the terrorist federation, and yesterday Rosfin monitoring included her in the list of extremists.
That's pretty regular way, okay, of people who trust Russia in any way. So basically, yeah, I know like a lot of cases when people really thought, like genuinely thought that this was what they wanted, that was right to happen when the invasion happened, when the war started back in 2014, and they thought like, oh yeah, that's the chance to make the world better. I don't know how this thought made it in their twisted mind, okay, but they really must have thought so. And of course, money question is not the last one, the last but not the least, probably. So basically what happened, they moved to Russia, they start being open about like how Russia is good and how everything else deserves to get Russianed, okay, if I can say so. But then they start realizing that this is not really what it seems. But by that time, it's already too late. You're too deep in this shit. No one wants you back. Of course, I wouldn't. I wouldn't. Yeah, and basically they have only like a few ways to deal with the situation. Okay, one of them is I don't know, to get crazy, like Aristovich, like there are like there is no people that everybody likes, but there is people who no one does. Yeah, so he's one of them basically. So this is one way, and the other way is to play alone, but basically that's because you're a human being, okay, not a robot. You cannot play alone with all you see. Yeah, so basically you start getting opinions, let's say, and these opinions are not welcome in Russian Federation. So let's see how it happens, okay, how it ends. Basically either she flies from Russia and leaves this whole thing behind and say like getting a clean slate, so hey, I was wrong, and like no more Russian Federation. So like in like this, or she will be found dead at some point if she doesn't leave Russia. That's my bet. I would like to be wrong. I don't like these things at all, but that's the reality.
Absolutely. She either flies from Russia or she flies from a window. Just like her choice is not that big. But at the same time, fuck, she chose the worst country to run to. Seriously.
Exactly.
Because where do you go from Russia? Only to places like, I don't know, North Korea probably.
Iran probably. Iran is not a bad place to go to, but I mean, considering they have this whole situation, yeah, that's
Yeah.
not maybe ideal, but overall, it's a good country. I was there once.
Yeah, in Iran, she will not be given even opportunity to actually speak much, all right? 'Cause,
Yeah, it's if she plays along with the regime, she will be. Trust me, she will be. They have females. I cannot call them like women or like ladies. They have females that play alone, and they support this propaganda just being used as a picture of, yeah, see, we have women. We're not savages. We have women.
Yeah. At the same time, I think a lot of people will be impressed that in Iran there are no female singers.
Uh, I'm not sure if there are no female singers. I know that they don't. It's illegal to represent to show people's like human representation or voice or anything else. Actually, so I'm not sure if there are any singers. They consider music to be haram, actually, to be anti-Islamic.
That's Afghanistan. In Afghanistan, like everything is banned, right? At this point, in Iran, it's a bit more liberal. But what do we call liberal if like women cannot ride bicycles, women cannot ride bikes, and women cannot sing or dance? So basically, all the Persian-speaking singers you can see, for example, on the YouTube somewhere, they live outside Iran.
Yeah,
In Iran, you will not hear females singing on the radio because it's forbidden, and it's not haram. It's just forbidden by the completely fucked up regime of Khamenei. So that's absolutely crazy. I have just to finish our today's episode. By the way, you are freezing for some reason on our screen.
I'm not sure. I'm here with you. Yeah, it's probably the internet or something.
Yeah, could be.
Like I'll be more prepared next time. So yeah, it won't freeze.
I think could be internet. I'm not blaming you because again, you are broadcasting from Ukraine, so it's okay. All right, at least we have your image there on the screen. We have a final publication for today, and this is an absolutely amazing case of the Russian cringe. Here we have an interesting dialogue from a. I think this one is Vkontakte. Evgeny Sherbakov, a Russian so-called, I don't know, maybe patriot, is saying, I am very amazed with the minimal subsidy for jobless people, right? 1,500 rubles, which is basically $15.
$15
What?
a month.
Wow. So yeah, so he's saying that he's very much impressed that in the terrorist federation, when you don't have a job and you go to this job center and everything else, you receive $15 a month, all right? Because of course there's nothing more important than spending all the budget, 40% of Russian budget on killing Ukrainians. And he asks in this publication, what was the reasoning behind the decision? Fuck, $15, oh my God. What was the reasoning behind this decision when the Russian members of Russian parliament were establishing this size of aid, all right, to Ukraine? Duncan Stewart says $15, best of luck, kid. Oh my God. And he receives a reply from another person in the social media who says, Evgeny, as a patriot, you should not ask this question, because I think that soon proper establishments will be interested with your very own person, all right? And your Z user picture will not help you. And the dude is like, so you think that I should look at this and cope? I am happy when I see that oligarchs are being suppressed, because we can see at least some kind of I don't know, fair play, all right? And the dude replies, Evgeny, yes, as a patriot, you should fucking cope, all right? Holy fuck. Oh my God. Jesus Christ. Wait, this one is cool. He replies, yes, I am coping as a patriot. I believe in the beautiful future of Russia. I never left Russia. I didn't go beyond. I don't have any accounts abroad. But it doesn't mean that I cannot criticize the government regarding the economical issues and regarding the Donbass and the whole Ukraine. I already in 2014 called to take Kyiv, all right?
Yeah.
Again, those beautiful Russians that wanted, to save the poor repressed people of Donbass, all right? And the dude replies, Evgeny, what you did was very good, but you are acting as a traitor by criticizing the government in such hard time. All right, I think that this is my civilian duty to report this to you, all right? And I hope that you will learn, all right? Don't criticize the government, otherwise you will be fucked. Speaking of people coming to Ukraine, by the way, do you remember that amazing people coming to Russia? I think it was this year, like there was this absolutely amazing Canadian family that decided to migrate from Canada, because Canada was like full of Sophia, are you with us?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, because I don't hear you, and you're freezing. You're hanging on the screen. Maybe you can reconnect. Yeah, Rob, same here. Like, I'm still smiling at the announcement that number one got evacuated. Yeah, that was absolutely amazing. Welcome back, dear Sophia. Did you hear about that family from Canada that decided to evacuate from Canada to the terrorist federation, and then basically got all of their accounts frozen?
Oh yeah, I heard about this, and I heard about other people doing that, and I cannot treat them as a sane people, okay? Because normally people who know what's happening in Russia, they don't live in Russia, or they don't want to live in Russia, and people who move into Russia from anywhere else, like, just make me speechless, because I cannot consider them. I mean, I don't think this is their decision. Actually, I think this is either something meant to be the public case, yeah, pretty well paid on the welfare, like we say, different terms, different conditions, okay, like different passport passport appropriation, like everything, yeah, and they're meant to be public, or they just mentally ill. I'm sorry, I cannot treat it as anything else.
Absolutely. Molto Bloke also says also the family from Texas that moved to Russia, and I think that's the one that the husband got mobilized, and he was told that he's going to, I don't know, like
Of course.
guard the rear or something like that, and then he went straight to the front line. I think he already became a better person. All right. JG asks, why would you leave Canada? Canada is great. Some would say the greatest, which I agree. Canada is absolutely amazing place. The fuck, like, Jesus Christ, that's just so.
I mean, mentally ill. Consider them a mentally ill or well paid. I mean, that's easier to live in the world like that if you think this way.
Absolutely. Tim Pool, everybody knows. He would receive like 100,000 from Russia today for every video. That's what he requested. My God. The Brazilian dude, the Brazilian terrorist that went in 2014 or 15 to Ukraine to fight for Donbas against the Ukrainian government, he had problems with drugs and law in his land. Russell Bentley, the one who also became a better person, he was de-Russified by the Russian tankers in the Donbas region. Same stuff. He had problems with drug trafficking in the United States. That's why he went to Russia. Scott Ritter, well, we all know what Scott Ritter does. He's a registered sex offender in the United States, and he went to jail twice for texting minors online. Who else? Literally you spit in the army of current supporters of the terrorist federation. All the people who say that Russia is good, like, I don't know, Anna Paulina Luna, for example, or other motherfuckers, and each of them has something shady, all right?
Definitely.
Something shady. You cannot be a sane person and support Russian terrorism and Putin and all that fucking shit if you are a normal civilized human being raised in the West, obeying law and stuff like that. I just
and expanded further. You cannot be a sane person. You cannot call yourself a sane person, like sane human being, okay, and support Russia. Like, it's two things pretty. They're not controversial. They are like pretty, diametrally different. They don't go together well. Don't go together at all.
Yeah, absolutely. So tell me, how much time do you have?
Basically, I'm pretty much bound to work now. So I think I'll see you next time. But it was an absolute pleasure, and thanks for having me over.
Same here. Thank you so much. I will not be keeping you occupied any longer. Thank you so much for joining our stream. I will spend some more time talking about food with my family there in the chat. But it was a pleasure. I really hope that you would like to join some of my streams a bit more and talk about your experience.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much. Thank you. Bye, guys. Bye. Have a nice day.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye. All right, my dear friends, that was Sophia, my good friend from Rostov, from Kyiv, all right, from Kyiv, Ukraine. I'm so happy that we could not only see each other finally since 2022, but also talk, discuss, and roast a shit out of the Russian degenerates, which is something absolutely good and a proper thing. So let's talk about food, maybe. I don't know. Let's talk about some other updates. We have some very interesting information coming from Fox News. Really? According to Senator Lindsey Graham, China, India, and Brazil are buying the biggest part of Russian resources, and he basically advises, all right, to other countries to shrink the amount of resources bought from from the terrorist federation to basically stop the Russian terrorism.
Економіка Путіна базується на нафті та газі.
Oh my God, that is Ukrainian dubbing, all right, Ukrainian translation of this video. So, well, that's what he said. He said that economy of Putin is based on oil and gas. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. We couldn't imagine that this is the case. Shrink these incomes and he's done. All right, and he says that China, India, and Brazil are buying the biggest part of those resources. At the same time, as far as I remember, India, Brazil, and China are parts of the so-called BRICS. All right, that is based around trading Russian resources and opposing the Western world. So. Nice shout. Thank you so much, Mr. Graham, for calling China, India, and Brazil to stop buying those resources. I don't see that actually happening, all right? Motoblog, Lindsey Graham is a clown. Well, we can see that for the first time in a while, all right? For the first time in years, probably. The meme that United States will actually place sanctions, all right, those legendary Lindsey Graham's sanctions will be actually introduced. It stopped being a meme, however, not quite, because the sanctions are only becoming active on 21st of November, which is a long way to go. A lot of things may change, so who knows. Steve saying, see you later, my friend. See you later. And Fuyuma as well. Have a nice day. So we can see that this slowly turned from sanctions to meme to sanctions. We don't know what it will turn into later, but we will see. So it's kind of good what he does, but fuck, like, speaking about the same shit over and over again for more than a year without literally making any steps towards doing something, that's just cringy, all right? Ukrainians don't really like wasting time, all right? We have this, let's say, wait a second. I gotta write дякую. I gotta write a reply to Sophia. Наступних зустрічей. Це було супер. Yay! Yeah, we gotta. Вітання від глядачів. Ukrainians have this very interesting feature. We don't like wasting time, all right? It's like, are we doing it or not, all right? If we're doing it, let's do it. If we're just like talking about it and considering, all right, talk to me when you're ready, all right? Otherwise, we don't like to waste time. All right, we're implementing sanctions. Let's do it tomorrow, okay? Mere, like, yes, sanctions, we are preparing, we're talking sanctions, and we will meet in a month to discuss whether we should talk about sanctions, and then after 2 more months we will meet to discuss whether, we should discuss the discussing of the discussion dedicated to discussing sanctions. Fact that, like, Ukrainians don't like this stuff, right? We want to act, especially at this very point, all right? At this very point. So that's just so you could understand a bit of Ukrainian mentality. Same with Taurus missiles, by the way, Julia. Same stuff, all right? It's like, we're getting missiles, all right, cool, let's have them. No, we're not getting them. When will we get them? In 2 weeks, we will talk about the possibility of a discussion dedicated to the creating of plan of possible implementation of strategy of talking about receiving and delivering those no, guys, all right, let's talk about it when we're ready, all right? If we don't have them tomorrow, then we'll probably building our shed like flamingos and everything else, using our resources and try to deal with the situation. Because like discussing and building strategy of preparing to talking about, guys, Russians don't act like that, all right? Russians are very, very much dedicated to see your demise, all right? They are very, very much dedicated to see a bunch of right-wing, left-wing parties taking over your governments, exiting NATO, and basically having your countries fucked by the Russian paratroopers. That's what Russians want. They work in this direction all the time, actively, and they're halfway there. All right. So we are not as dedicated as them for some reason, which is sad. But I'm optimistic about this one still. Yeah, Goldfingers, exactly. The European Union needs to speed up decision making. It's difficult, all right? It's difficult. Everybody knows that, but you know, as soon as survival of the nation is concerned, such decisions are getting made very, very fast, usually. But one thing that, for example, I would really like to see is the evil West, us, all right? The evil West actually acting more actively against the terrorist federation, because Motoblog, oh my god, Vitania z Las Vegasa. Yeah, same stuff. Have a great working day and be safe, my friend. The evil West, right? The evil West, evil rotting West, full of gays, Nazis, Satanists, evil NATO, and all that goodness that we have here, all right? Evil West doesn't act against Russia. Russia is raised on the threat of the West, right? They are raised on the belief that, for example, when you wake up and you discover poop in your pants, it's not because you were drinking the whole night, all right, with some hobos somewhere in the yard. It's because Obama came to your house where you were asleep and he shat in your pants personally, all right? Russians are raised with this in their minds. They're raised with the idea that when you walk outside, you see all the syringes and shit scattered in your yard. When you see that beautiful Omsk flooded with dirt and crap from the sewers that don't work, that's not because they would rather spend money on killing people in Syria, Chechnya, Ukraine, you name it. It's because literally Trump, all right, at night when you were asleep, he parachuted in your Omsk with several buckets of mud and shit and literally scattered everything because he hates you so much, all right? Or because Merz himself, all right? When you were asleep, he came to Russia, he stole that car, that, you know, the ascenization car, all right? He went to your very own neighborhood, he took the hose and he started like just spraying everything with the poop. That is what they are raised with, and that is one of the reasons, first of all, why they hate you so much, why they want you all to die or serve them your whole life, why they want to see actually this peaceful life in German cities, in French cities degraded. They will be happy to see them on fire and basically rotting just like Russia. All right, if you take a look at what they turned Königsberg into, all right, when the Red Army took Königsberg, and in just 2 weeks all the sewers stopped working because for the reasons we cannot explain. from European standpoint. You will see that. And they are very, very happy to basically participate in all sorts of hybrid operations and campaigns to make this European demise closer and closer, all right? So the West that is portrayed literally throwing dirty bombs, all right, in the destroyed neighborhoods of Kolyma, Omsk, Ulyanovsk and places like that, the West actually doesn't do anything of that sort. But if it did, fucking terrorist federation would collapse tomorrow, all right? If it was for real. If we would really aim at destroying their economy, all right? If it was for real, the big European Union, 500 million people population, all right? The same budget as the whole United States, which is probably like 30 times the size of the budget of Russia itself. If the whole European Union actually activized its cyber warfare, activized its informational warfare, activized all the weapons that we have, and waged the hybrid war against this big, but at the same time very, very tender, all right, Russian terrorist federation, it would fucking collapse tomorrow. We don't understand our own powers, guys, all right? United States are very good at realizing their power, but at the same time they go like, yes, we can fuck Russia tomorrow, but we just don't do that, right? Because might is not always right. Same with the Europe, same with NATO, right? When Mark Rutte says, well, we can destroy any Russian aircraft or aerial object intruding European airspace, we can do it like this, all right? Because we are so strong, all right? And that is the reason why we don't do that, because we don't want to prove that we are strong. Otherwise, we would be weak. This mentality is so fucked up, all right? Something I cannot fucking understand with my Ukrainian mind. How come you have such resources? You can destroy the fucking Russian terrorism tomorrow, easily. Using your informational resources, using your weaponry, of course, and not only weaponry, but generally your economical leverage. That is the cheapest way of having safe tomorrow for European children, all right? That is the safest way possible, but yet, well, we decided not to do that because we are just so strong. European strength will collapse as soon as far left, far right parties take power tomorrow. And Russians are working very, very hard for this to happen, unfortunately. And they are very, very much dedicated for this to happen. So I don't want to sound like bad prophet, but unfortunately I see a very, very bad situation in Europe in the very, very close future. Something maybe that will remind of Ukraine, maybe something worse, but the worst thing that we can see is not only European countries invaded by Russian paratroopers, Russian peacekeepers or things like that. We will see something even much worse than that. We will see countries torn apart by internal conflicts. For example, you can see a situation currently taking place in the United States, which I wholeheartedly support people fighting for freedom and democracy and democratic values. You will not see me supporting dictatorships, tyrants, and any polities, that literally limit freedom of speech and things like that. I don't support that. You will never see me calling to divide societies, all right, like these are immigrants, motherfuckers, these are white people, they are legit people, all right, these are Muslims, motherfuckers, these are Christians, proper guys, all right? You will not see me doing that because I don't believe in this shit, all right? I could be born in Syria myself and be a Middle Eastern Muslim dude, and I would be the same myself, only, you know, different religion, different skin color. So you will not see me dividing. You will see me only trying to unite people, whoever they are. Same. You just saw my Russian Ukrainian friend Sophia here in the chat, and everything's fine. We can hear the proper conversation because she doesn't support Russian fucking terrorism and fucked up Russian degeneracy. All right, that is the reason why she lives in Ukraine. But the worst thing that we will see in the future is basically those countries, European countries, being torn apart from inside. And then we will see amazing Russian troops, Wagnerites, paratroopers literally landing there to protect, I don't know, Russian-speaking, Russian-supporting people of Europe. All right. And that is the worst case scenario that unfortunately we can see already developing, and that is basically something I talked about in 2023, when this was actually very, very obvious and expected, and people thought, oh, you know. At the same time, today you look at Germany, for example, where AfD, a movement that is recognized as extremist in different states of Germany, and movement that is known for hosting Russian and Chinese spies, all right, officially. They are growing in popularity because Russian propaganda works, and it's not based on uniting people. It's based on the ideology of spreading hatred. Those fucks who come here from abroad, they're not supposed to be here, all right? There are Turks, there are Arabs, there are Ukrainians, there are other people from other places. There are Americans, by the way, who come to Germany to build their career and their life and stuff like that, and they're not welcomed here, all right? And when you scratch people like that, all right, people who say they are the biggest patriots of Germany, Spain, Italy, France, when you scratch them just a bit, all right, you will see a bunch of Russian rubles literally sticking from the inside. And whatever whatever security or intelligence agency you ask, they will confirm the same, all right, because this was absolutely obvious even before the full-scale Russian invasion. So just so you know, the only thing that can save us is unity nowadays. All right, the unity with people who have the same view on the democratic values. Doesn't matter if they don't support your religion. Doesn't matter if they don't support your political opinion regarding this or that. But if you guys have the same democratic values, you are allies, all right? If you support the same idea of safe future for European generations, American generations, Australian generations, if you support progress, if you support unity, things like multiculturalism, because again, as for example, example of the United States is showing, that is something that made them great, all right? It's not because they all had the same color of eyes, the same skin color, the same like religion and everything else. No, what made them great was because they were so different and so various, and everyone brought their very own experience. This is something that we should all learn from them if we still haven't, and this is something that we should put into a good use, all right, in European countries. And we gotta stick together, 100%. So that's my opinion. I would never call myself, you know, like a big supporter of leftist ideologies, because I don't really believe in ideologies. I believe in law and order, all right? That's my ideology. And also I believe in democratic values as a Ukrainian, all right? Because generally I remember every revolution that we had in Ukraine for some reason. I believe in dictatorship of law, all right? That's the only dictatorship that we can have. The dictatorship that would equalize everyone, regardless of skin, wealth, religion, and everything else. Dictatorship of law in a democratic country. That's the only thing that I approve, all right? Not tyranny, but literally people obeying the law. So, what else can I say? My dear friends, I will not keep you occupied any longer as well, because it's been 2 hours and 30 minutes. Actually took a bit longer than I anticipated, because I'm actually starving, as always, my friends. I didn't have much in the morning. My lady prepared coffee, which she always does, by the way. I don't ask her. She cooks coffee, and she's like, do you want some pickled cucumber? And it's like 7 a.m. How can I refuse pickled cucumber at 7 a.m.? But I couldn't eat much because I was very, very sleepy. So I gotta run and munch on something. I have Polish crepes, the bigger pancakes, right? So I have those. Hungry o'clock, Michael, 100%. So we'll see you later. I will be saying thank you for supporting my country. Thank you for staying with me, and also let me know if you liked Sophia, if you want to see more of her on my streams, because I definitely roasting the shit out of the Russian terrorists together with her, and I hope that you liked her as well. See you later, my dear friends. Have something good. Enjoy your food wherever you are. And in the comments, let me know what did you have. Probably I will try to repeat after you myself, all right? So see you later and be safe. Bye-bye.